A tree arose, O pure transcendence. O Orpheus sings, O tall tree within the ear. And all was silent, yet in that silence was new genesis, new signaling, new change. Creatures of stillness thronged out of the clear, disentangled forest, from nest and lair, and it wasn't cunning, wasn't heed or fright that put such softness in their steps, but listening. Bellow, shriek, roar, seemed small inside their hearts. And where once there'd scarcely been a hut to take this in, a hidden refuge made of darkest longing, with an entranceway whose braces shook, you built temples for them in their hearing. Is he native to this realm? No. His wide nature grew out of both worlds. They more adeptly bend the widow's branches, who have experience of the willow's roots. When you go to bed, don't leave bread or milk on the table. It attracts the dead. But may he, this quiet conjurer, may he, beneath the mildness of the eyelid, mix their bright traces into every seen thing, and may the magic of earth smoke and rue be as real for him as the clearest connection. Nothing can mar for him the authentic image. Whether he wanders through houses or graves, let him praise signet ring, gold necklace, jar. Only he who has also raised his lyre among shadows may find his way back to infinite praise. Only he who has eaten Only he who has also raised his lyre among shadows may find his way back to infinite praise. Only he who has eaten with the dead from their stores of poppy will never again lose the softest chord. And though the pool's reflection often blurs before us, know the image. Only in the double realm do voices become eternal and mild. Hail to the spirit that can connect us, for truly we live our lives in figures, and with tiny paces, the clocks march along beside our own individual day. Without knowing our true place, we somehow act in genuine rapport. Antenna feel antenna, and the empty distance fills with pure tension. Music of the powers. Does not our endless commerce deflect from you each interruption? However much the farmer frets and labors, he never reaches where the seed turns into summer, the earth bestows. Ripe apple, blackberry, and banana, nectarine, these all speak death and life into the mouth. I feel, read it in the features of a child who's tasting them. This comes from far. Does all grow slowly nameless in your mouth, where words once were, discoveries flow? set free from a fruit's flesh, amazed. Dare to say what you call apple, this sweetness that first condenses, thickens, and then finally sublimes in the taste. Grows clear, awake, transparent, double-sided, sunny, earthly, native. Oh, knowing feeling, happiness, immense. We puzzle over flower, vine leaf, fruit. They speak not just the language of the year. A thing of succor rises from the dark, and its hues may gleam with the jealousy of the dead. Those who strengthen the earth, what do we know of their share in it? It has long been their practice to enrich the loam with their own free marrow. The question is, do they do it willingly? Does this fruit, a work of sullen slaves pushed through, clenched to us, their masters? Or are they the masters, sleeping among the roots and granting us from their profusion this hybrid of mute strength and kisses? So my nose is still running because I was having a cry. Wait, this taste, already it's escaping. A bit of music, feet tapping, a hum. You girls with your silences, your warmth, dance the knowledge of the tasted fruit. Dance the orange, who can forget it? The way it fights, drowning in itself against its sweetness. You've possessed it. Its deliciousness has entered you. Dance the orange. Fling the warmer landscape out from you, so the ripe fruit may glow in its native breezes. Aglow yourselves, peel. Perfume from perfume, create a kinship with the pure, reluctant rind, with the juice that fills the happy fruit. Spring has come again. The earth is like a child who knows poems by heart. Many, so many. For the work of such long learning, she wins the prize. Her teacher was demanding. We'd grown fond of the white in the old man's beard. Now when we ask what the green and blue are, she can tell us. She knows. She knows she knows. Earth, lucky earth, on holiday, play with the children now. We want to catch you, happy earth, and the luckiest will. What her teacher taught her, so many things, and what's imprinted in the roots and on the long, difficult stems, she sings it. She sings. We drive and are driven, but time's stride, think of it, lost in the ever-remaining. All that's hurrying will quickly be past. Only what lingers grants us credence. Boys, don't fling your courage into the thrill of speed or attempts at flight. All that is at rest. Darkness and morning light, flower and book. Shall we renounce our age-old friendship, the great undemanding gods, because the hard steel we raised so fiercely doesn't know them? Or shall we suddenly search for them on a map? These potent friends who take the dead from us, nowhere brush against our wheels. We've moved our baths and our banquet places far away, and their messengers long too slow for us. We forever outstrip, more alone now, wholly dependent on each other, strangers to each other. We no longer plot beautiful, meandering roads, but remorseless thoroughfares. Only in steam boilers do the old fires burn, driving pistons ever more gigantic, while we feel our strength ebb like swimmers. But you now, O stolen one, whom I knew like a flower I had no name for. Once more will I rehearse you and show you to them, O beautiful playmate of the unquenchable cry. Dancer first, whose body, full of hesitation, suddenly stopped, as if your youth were being cast in bronze, grieving, listening. Then from the powers above, music fell into your altered heart. Illness was near, already gripped by shadows. Your blood coursed darker, yet, as if only fleetingly suspicious, it burst forth into its natural spring. Again and again, amid darkness and downfall, it flared earthily, until after the terrible pounding, it stepped through the hopelessly open gate. But you, divine one, intoning to the very end, when swarmed by the horde of spurned maenads, you drowned their cries with order. Sublime one, up from the mayhem rose your transforming song. None there could harm your head or lyre, however they wrestled and raged. All the rough stones they threw at your heart became soft when they touched you, and blessed with hearing. At last, mad for vengeance, they ripped you apart, but your sound lingered on in lions and rocks, and in the trees and birds you sing there still. Oh, you lost God, you never-ending trace. Only because hatred tore and scattered you are we hearers now, and a mouth for nature. Breathing, you invisible poem. World space in pure, continuous interchange. With my own being, equipoise, in which I rhythmically transpire. Single wave, whose gradual sea I am, of all possible seas, the most frugal. Windfall of space. How many of these places in space have already been in me? Many a breeze is like my sun. Do you recognize me, air, full of places once mine? You, once the smooth rind, orb, and leaf of all my words. Mirrors. No one who's tried to solve you has yet unlocked your true being. You, openings in time, its course filled as if with endless sieve holes. You, perpetual spendthrifts of the empty hall, when dusk approaches deep as woods, and there the chandelier, like a 16-pointer, leaps your unbreachable divide. Sometimes you are full of painting. A few seem to have passed straight into you. Others you shyly sent away. But the one loveliest woman will remain before you. To the cross, into her untouched cheeks, the clear, released Narcissus penetrates. All that we've gained, the machine threatens, as long as it dares to exist as idea, not obedient tool, to inure us to the hand's more masterful lingerings. For rigid buildings, it cuts starker stone. Nowhere does it idle. It gives us no chance to flee and leave it self-lubricating in silent factories. It is life, believes it does everything best, making, arranging, destroying, all the same. But for us, existence still can enchant. In 100 places, it's still origin, a play of pure forces, which no one touches who doesn't kneel and wonder. Words still softly give way before the unsayable. And music, forever new, out of the most tremulous stones, builds in unusable space her house, fit for gods. Be in advance of all parting, as if it were behind you, like the winter just now going by. For among winters, there's one so endlessly winter that wintering your heart will win through. Be forever dead in Eurydice, and climb more singingly, climb more praisingly back into the pure relation. Here among the vanishing be, in the realm of decline, be a ringing glass that shatters even as it rings. Be, and know as well the terms of non-being, the infinite ground of your inmost vibration, so that this once you may wholly fulfill them. To the used as well as the mute and muffled, stock of nature's fullness, to the inexpressible sums, add yourself jubilantly and erase the score. O fountain mouth, you giving one, you lips speaking inexhaustibly, one single, one clear thing, you marble mask held up before the water's flowing face, and in the background, origin of aqueducts, from far away past graves, down the Apennine slopes. They bring you the stream of your saying, which spills past your blackened aging chin, into the basin opened there before it. This is the close and sleeping ear, the marble ear in which you always speak, an ear of earth, so that she's talking with herself alone. Slip a picture in and she'll think you're interrupting. Where, in whatever blissfully watered gardens, on what branches, out of what tenderly unpetaled flower cups, do the exotic fruits of consolation ripen? These exquisite fruits, which sometimes lie there in the trampled meadow of your losses. Each time you come upon one, you marvel at the size of the fruit, at its perfect fullness, at the tenderness of its skin, at how it has escaped the wantonness of the bird and the jealousy of the worm below. Are there trees, then, visited by angels, and so strangely tended by slow occult gardeners, that they bear for us without being ours? Have we never been able, we shadows and phantoms, as we go on, prematurely ripening and then withering again, to disturb the equanimity of these serene summers. I think that's enough. Sonnets for Orpheus by Ranier Maria Rilke.